In the 80s, there weren't many young stars bigger than Michael J. Fox. He had the television gig with Family Ties and a whole list of movies. Let's take a look at some things you might not know about Michael J. Fox. One of the early 80s movies roles for Michael J. Fox was Class of 1984. He had a supporting role with a character named Arthur, the little kid in the band room getting harassed by some punks. He ends up running afoul with the gang, gets stabbed in the stomach, almost dies. If you haven't seen Class of 1984, consider yourself lucky. It is a terrible movie. This was banned in several countries for the graphic content. I'm not going to even get into what it's all about. It is one of Michael J. Fox's early roles, so I thought I'd mention it. In Back to the Future, he's Marty McFly. He's actually 3 years older than his on-screen dad, Crispin Glover. Michael J. Fox was 22 at the time. Crispin Glover was only 19. When Marty McFly ends up in 1955, he has to terrorize George McFly with that whole "I am Darth Vader from the planet Vulcan" routine. When he pulls the tape out to put it in his Walkman, it says Edward Van Halen on it. Initially, it was just Van Halen. The band Van Halen didn't agree to be in Back to the Future, and that would have been a licensing problem. Instead, even though the band didn't want to be involved, Eddie sure did. So Eddie said, "It's fine if you use my name, and I'll give you some guitar to go along with it." And when Marty gives it the play button, that's Eddie playing the guitar, driving poor George crazy. Teen Wolf is another movie from the mid-80s that really was on the way to making Michael J. Fox a star. A big part of the movie is the basketball scenes. The problem is Michael J. Fox can't play basketball. They were really worried that they were going to have to cast somebody else because he couldn't even sink a free throw. They had to bring in a professional to work with him to help him get his game. Teen Wolf and Back to the Future were filming right around the same time. Teen Wolf finished first. The brains behind Teen Wolf knew what was going on with Back to the Future and figured that was going to be a big hit. So they held off releasing Teen Wolf until after Back to the Future. Back to the Future comes out, it blows up. They release Teen Wolf a month later and ride that Michael J. Fox fame wave right into the box office gold. The movie's called Teen Wolf, so you'd figure it would be about teens. Well, it is, but certainly the people who were playing the teens weren't teens. Michael J. Fox was 23 at the time. His buddy Styles, Jerry Levine, was 27. Chubby, Mark Holton, was 26. And Mick, the bad guy, he was also 27. That was Mark Arnold. So we got 23, 26, 27, and 27. Teen Wolf, those aren't teenagers. In the movie The Light of Day, Michael J. Fox plays Joe Raznick. Unlike basketball, Michael J. Fox could actually play the guitar. He wasn't a pro, he was more of a hobby player, a three chords and the truth type of guy, but he could play. He wrote the guitar part and sings one of the songs on the soundtrack. It's not a great song, but it kind of sounds like Paul Westerberg and the Replacements, so it's worth finding. Michael J. Fox and Joan Jett played all the songs on the stage. They had to get prepped for it. You don't just all of a sudden show up on stage and you're a rock star. So they went out and played a couple of gigs prior to starting the filming. Imagine being out with your friends and wondering who the band's going to be tonight, and Michael J. Fox and Joan Jett get on stage. That would be amazing. One of the most guarded secrets about the life of Michael J. Fox in the 80s was that he was a very heavy smoker. He would smoke in the hallways in Family Ties. He would smoke between takes on Back to the Future. The big giveaway is in The Secret to My Success. At one point in time, Brantley puts his feet up on the desk. The soles of his shoes are all cigarette butt burned out. The character didn't smoke. That was just Michael hanging out, smoking all the butts in between takes. Right away, when you think of Michael J. Fox in the 80s, you think of, he's a good guy. He's one of the good ones. That's a good guy, Michael J. Fox. In Bright Lights, Big City, he played Jamie Conway. When they initially were casting for it, they decided if they're gonna cast Michael J. Fox, they're gonna have to protect his image. They wrote out all of the drinking, they wrote out all the drugs, all the bad stuff basically, and just made it sort of a really bland movie. After they started filming it, they realized this is a bad idea. Nobody's going to want to see this. So they rewrote it again, kept Michael J. Fox in it, and they put all the bad stuff back in. It still ended up not doing so well. It was the only bomb that Michael J. Fox had in the 80s. I got a ton of other great 80s content here on my channel. Click that and subscribe, then click that and watch the next video. I'll see you soon.